Good morning. It's Joyful Hermit. The day began when it was very dark, probably 3:30, 4 in the morning, with composing within love songs to God. I love the early morning when the soul is totally focused, fresh from sleep in which the soul is enwrapped with God, and then just barely awake in the dark, in the silence, stillness, where the soul continues to be enwrapped in God, but yet more consciously aware of that ensconcement, that enrapture. It's very beautiful, the soul with God. And then gradually, thoughts of the temporal come in, and I had more insights about what the Lord desires of me regarding my service to others and my service to His church in a very sort of remote way from the hermitage. And the hermitage became an analogy, in a way, for the soul of the silence and stillness of this rather emptied abode, and how it's being filled with love and loving thoughts of others, but yet also the recognition that there will always be evil. There will always be the challenge of evil when we're in this world. No matter how removed our souls may be and ensconced in God, just outside is evil waiting. And as I mentioned to a cousin who called yesterday, and also to Raphael, the reason he came by a couple of days ago was because he was worried and concerned. And I took it well that he came to me. I suppose it's because I shared with him that I too was Catholic. He's Catholic. He had asked me. He noticed the statues also. It's beautiful how certain things can be witnesses to others. And perhaps some don't like or don't understand statues as reminders of God, those who aren't Catholic. But he did, and because he was reared Catholic, and he admitted he wasn't a quote-unquote good Catholic, I guess he doesn't go to Mass every Sunday. He's such a good soul, such a beautiful soul. His wife is praying him through for now, and I hope that he'll not work quite so hard and take a little time off on Sundays. But he came because someone he was working for, he'd been hired as a subcontractor, and the owner said, "Oh, you're doing the roof? Why, I read bad things about you online." And he was worried, and I said, "Oh, you have nothing to worry about." I said, "It's the devil attacking through using people who are envious of you and threatened by you." But I assured him I would research online and see if there were any criticisms. And there weren't, but there is a local online group for this remote area. And so I said, well, obviously, they will put on this list asking, do you know any plumbers? Can you recommend any roofers or contractors or people to fix appliances? And various people in this little local online site will write back privately, so-and-so or so-and-so, try this person or that person, or I recommend this person. And I said probably one of the local contractors or roofers responded to someone's query and put Raphael down because he doesn't live here. And he's taking a lot of business away because he does a fair and honest job, and he asks for just wages. He doesn't scalp people like the rest of them out here do. And in fact, he says, well, they don't even allow him to advertise in the area newspaper, little tiny thing, comes out once a week, because they say, well, you don't live here. And so I said, it's the devil. The devil comes in on people's weaknesses, and in this case, it's greed of the other contractors who resent someone who is doing honest work and good work, but for fair prices, not usurious prices. And I said, you just keep your nose to the grindstone. Keep doing as you're doing, Raphael. And I said, prayers will protect you. Prayers will protect you, and the Lord will honor your goodness. And put the other out of your mind. So that's how, just in our daily lives, evil can pop in. And it's tricks of the devil. Padre Pio explained that to me years ago. He forewarned me of some tricks of the devil that were going to occur, and I succumbed to the tricks at first. But it was a great learning experience at that time in my life. But how beautiful when we leave all that and have the armor of God protecting us always, and even in the midst of great pain, as I mentioned to my cousin, in any kind of weakness. I said, in my pain is when the devil tries to move in on to try to tempt me to despair when I'm exhausted or physically in so much pain, added pain. And for her, I said, it's when any weak points in your life or her personality clash with a relative of hers. That's when the devil will try to move in, and we just learn the chinks in the armor, and to pray for more protection and to be filled with more and more love, and to rid out the hindrances and to bolster up. And so this wall that I had tried to patch up with shim after shim, at Craig's advice, but he didn't see how bad the wall is. Every stud is out of whack. And I woke up after my conscious thoughts started taking in. I thought, why not replace the header beam? Of course we can. There's no sense in putting in new studs when the header plate is shifted inward, slanted more inward or out, and not plumb with the footer plate. So we will do it right. Raphael's right, but he says, oh, well, we won't replace that. I think out of fear of not enough support up there. But I realize there will be support. It's not a main support anymore because there's a upper roof that has been placed over. So we'll go forth with courage, and we'll start afresh on that wall and fix the header, get that right, and rebuild. It's all an analogy of the soul, of the spiritual life, and of not succumbing to the outer assaults, and to not let our armor, chinks in the armor, get to the point where the header, where the head is not in a line with the earth, with ground. Remain grounded but upright, upright. I'm going to at some point try to write some of the poetry that came to me this morning of the great love of God that the soul has in the stillness and silence and darkness when first awakening, and a reminder to all of us of the soul with God and the purity of that. And all else fades in comparison. God bless His real presence in us. May you have a beautiful and eventful day in the Lord.